Hey guys! You better watch it with that. Yeah, you're right.
So guys, today we are going to review one of the retro games that started everything for me. I don't know about you, but it started
Actually brings back a lot of childhood memories.
And when the game, we're talking about the Legend of Zelda.
That might be a good idea. Let them know which game it was.
The Legend of Zelda. Sorry guys, the Legend of Zelda. I'm excited. That's why.
The first one that came out.
The first one that came out, and remember it was in the box within the sleeve. It says Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And you had to, when they didn't want to work, you did the go. And now they say they recommend for you not to blow into the cartridge, and you grab the little Q-tip with the alcohol swab.
Exactly. And it had a little manual book as well. Now games don't come with manual books.
You still have the original Nintendo. For all the new kids nowadays that don't know what it was like to grow up back then, you put the game in here, stick it in, you push it down, and you pray to God that the game would load. Because if it didn't, you would have to eject it, take it out,
and blow it,
and
then put it back in, and then pray to God that it's gonna load.
Yeah, exactly. It comes in this golden finish, as you can see here.
Yeah, but you have to remember there's two editions. There's the golden edition and the regular edition. This was $5 more, but the regular one was it was gray. It was a nasty one.
I can't remember how much this game cost my mom, because obviously she bought it for me, and I don't recall how much it was.
It was $50. So back then was a lot of money, and a lot of people didn't know about this game. A lot of people till this day still don't like this game because the storyline is long and you have to read. You have to read. Exactly, and people didn't like that. All they want to do is just play instead of
that's true,
following the storyline.
This was one of the first open map video games that released back in 1986.
I remember it had a lot of dungeons and a lot of maps.
Yeah, 9 dungeons and some mini caves to go and explore. This game, I actually loaded it a few days ago, and I was playing. It took me back to my childhood, like big time. The whole song, everything, you had me singing like dan, 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 dan.
This game was the first one to have feature to save your game.
Oh my god, yes, that was a complete game changer. The ability to save your games onto the cartridge itself, it changed gaming completely. So if you remember this game, if you were born in the 80s like we were all over every single market available looking for all these guides, because this game, the selling point for this game was to get magazines. So the magazines actually told you where to go, and it was printed out. You had so many things to do in this video game that you needed a magazine, and there was no internet back in 1986.
So there was no walkthroughs and
exactly
none of that.
No one even ever thought of that.
It literally took me about 3 months to just pass this game. I'm pretty sure some of you guys
it's probably more, right?
More than that or less than that. But it took me literally 3 months because at times I'm like, hey, what do I do here? I'm stuck at this level.
But you were able to save.
Yeah, you
went to the store, look for the latest magazine or walkthrough guide, buy it, or go and ask our parents for money.
Or subscribe to Nintendo Power and also get all the information from there. You have to wait maybe a month to get that one little guide.
Yeah.
But hey,
but that made it so much fun. Nowadays you have the internet and you're able to search for anything you want, walk through guides. How do I do this? How do I figure out this puzzle? But the fact that you were able to interact with a magazine and the game at the same time, it made it that much more fun. I feel that the internet nowadays, it kind of spoils the game for you.
Yeah, it does.
Because there's a lot of people that do walkthroughs on the games, and you actually, I want to see what this is, and you spoil the game for yourself. Because you don't wait to see what the ending was like because you view someone else's video.
There's no difference on collecting for the hearts, for you to get more hearts. So the
gameplay is the same across all the games.
Exactly.
You have to have hearts. You start off with only 3.
Exactly.
Enemies, when they hit you, they take up half of that heart.
Or a quarter of a heart.
Yeah, that's right. Or a quarter of a heart. Which in this one, once you lost half of the heart, you lost your ability to shoot your sword.
Exactly.
So now you gotta get close to the enemy and attack them with the sword, which was annoying because you're over here punching at you're like, sorry, I'm gonna go into his mode. Going away, punching at that button, and sometimes you end up dying.
There's not much difference from the link from the first one. Well, basically, this is not the first one.
We'll get into the storyline in another video, but explaining the whole tree structure of how every game derives and where it comes from.
Exactly, but spoiler alert, this is the first one. Okay.
That is, even though it's for the Skyward Sword.
So the storyline is Link. He's a hero. He's always been the hero of the time, hero of the Hyrule. So he arrived late. He has to go rescue the princess, and he has to defeat Ganon again with the Master Sword.
Oh, I can't take that off.
Man, that thing.
Sorry, I
can never take that thing off.
I think it's stuck there. There we go. Oh, it doesn't come off the thing, but anyways, here we go.
Yep.
Check this out,
Master Sword.
Whoa, it doesn't fit on the screen, but look at the length of that sucker.
So he has to defeat Ganon, save Hyrule, and save the princess. But in part 2, it explains a little bit more what happens after, of course, defeating the Ganon. It has secret caves as well, but I didn't know about that until now. I might play it again, and maybe just to complete it 100% like I did with all my previous games. What'd you think about the graphics?
Actually, this game was really good with the graphics considering the time that it was released on. 1986, you know, computer graphics or video game graphics were not that great. The processing power on this machine, which they mimicked again on the new Nintendo Classic Mini,
which has Zelda 1 and 2, by the way.
Yeah, it was incredible because when you would get a lot of characters, there was very minimal lag on the screen, considering that you're overloading the processing power of the console. The nice thing about it is, it wasn't the kind where you play the game and you just go across the screen. You could go up, down, left, right. But the only thing that I freaking didn't like was that when I started playing it again, this controller is so uncomfortable. How did we do it?
I don't know.
Explain it to me.
This is really small.
It was not only that, the way, well, I mean, it was made in 1986.
Let me ask you something.
Not in 1986. The game was released in 1986, but the console itself was released in the 80s. So there was no ergonomical.
Look at that.
Yeah, so there you go. Hey, get a little frisky here. Yeah, representation, right? But the way you hold the controller, it starts to dig into your fingers after a few minutes, and it starts to get very uncomfortable. How did we do when we grew up?
Hey man, we have smaller hands.
That's true, you're right. Now it's like you got this, well, never mind.
He mentioned the graphics, 8-bit graphics on Legend of Zelda. For in our eyes, that time was incredible. Yep.
It was breathtaking for us because there was no other console able to push that kind of graphics.
And also, what I loved about the Legend of Zelda is when you have that sword and you can just throw that power against your enemies and block whatever they're throwing back at you. That was pretty awesome. Back in the day, everybody wanted to become a knight, a king, whatever, with the shield. Remember He-Man and Conan back in the day in the 80s?
The gray skull. Yeah, that's gray skull, but you know.
Yeah, you know, you're there.
Sorry, 80s nostalgia kicking in.
Yeah, so they're there with the sword, with the power. Legend of Zelda had the power with the Master Sword, man. So it was pretty cool.
That reminds me, Stevie B, the music. Oh, man, going way too back. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
The enemies on this game, is it hard? Is it easy?
You know what? They're not that hard. Even though the enemies and Link itself walked in an XY axis, remember, there was no diagonal movements. Everything was either side to side or up and down.
The mini boss for Legend of Zelda was pretty easy, but the main bosses, those are pretty hard. The mini boss, for instance, there was one that looked like a caterpillar, and he's going around and around. And once you hit the tail, the body contracts.
Like into a ball?
Yeah, and then the next power he has, he's moving like a pinball. Like a little pinball, and it's just trying to hit you.
Now imagine moving side to side, up and down, trying to get around that thing.
Yeah.
God, that's annoying.
But it's easy. Once you get to Ganon though, the ending, that's where it gets complicated. Because
I bet.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you guys because maybe you guys want to play it.
If you guys own the NES Classic and have played it, let us know what you think of the game itself. We actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Let me ask you something though. I mean, this is curious now that you know we're all grown up and everything. You have kids. Every kid's seeing you play Nintendo games.
It's funny you asked that. So my daughter, she's really into video games, just like I am. And when she saw me playing this game, she asked me, "Is that a classic?" I said, "Yes, it is. It's one of the first games that I played in the Nintendo, and this was, I'm not gonna say exactly how many years ago, but it was a while back ago. She notices all the little details on the game, and it's crazy because she's only 6 years old. And when all the characters, well, not the characters, the enemies came out on the screen, and and I was trying to fight them away, she said, "Oh, Daddy, look, that game is too laggy. It's glitching." I'm like, it's not. You just don't know that the processing power that was put into the game back then, it's not equivalent to right now. So after going back through all this and thinking about our childhood and how we grew up playing this, what do you think is the replay value in this game? Now, not back then, now. Don't look at the rest of your collection because there's too many games to play. I'm talking about just this one in general.
I know.
To start off from the beginning where it all began.
Well, I think it's worth it, but if you have a lot of time on your hands,
yeah, because this game is actually very time consuming.
Yeah,
considering the way the whole.
And you gotta be open minded because this was 1986 compared to the graphics of right now.
Yeah, so a lot of people might not be in like, oh, okay, no, this is not working.
And remember when you arrive to these small towns, you have to talk to everybody in order for you to.
That's the talking part that he mentioned earlier, where you have to read.
You have to read because remember they give you clues where these.
Wait, you get the whole.
Yep. Exactly.
Next.
They give you clues where the hidden caves are at, or how to defeat the mini boss or the main boss, whatever, or what you have to do next. But it's a lot of reading, and if you're into that kind of stuff, go for it. I say try it out, and then from there, try the second one.
And like this guy. The third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, branch off to the fifth, sixth, and so on.
Before you get it to this one, I'll recommend for you guys to play this one first.
That's for the Nintendo Wii, right?
That's the Nintendo Wii, yes. It's also compatible with the Nintendo Wii U, just in case you got the Wii U. So this one starts everything, and then it breaks down, which we'll explain later, because there's a lot of explaining to do. All right, now tell our community, our Playworthy community, is it worth it? Is it Playworthy? Is it worthy?
It's worthy. To me, it's worthy. It's been worthy. You're in 1986. I already know how you feel. I'm very nitpicky when it comes to games, but this is one that I feel personally that it's worthy, and I know he's most likely gonna agree with the same result. But what score would you give this? 1 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9 as well.
Hope you guys enjoy this review. If you guys have more questions.
Retro review.
Yes. Remember, we talked about it that we're gonna try something new, and this is something new we're gonna talk about.
Going back to our childhood, doing reviews on all these retro games. Well, not all these, right? Because this is just one game in general. But let us know which other retro game you guys would like to know about. I know a lot of our community was not born in the 80s.
No.
You know, and they would like to know what it was like back then, or what kind of games came out back then. So let us know.
Later on, we're gonna explain the timeline, but it's too much to explain right now. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm Phis.
I'm tEcK.
Peace
out.